growing problems related to online communications is the phenomenon of sexting. Do I have any receivers or any senders in the audience? Okay. In a few short years, email, chat rooms, text messages, and social networking sites have dramatically changed the way that most of us communicate. As we become more dependent on the fast, convenient forms of technology, we inadvertently give up some control over who can access and share our private information. Teenagers in particular have embraced these new forms of technology as a normal and necessary part of life. In fact, many of today's teens are too young to remember a world without internet or email. With this rapid change in communication, there have been many challenges and concerns. Sexting is a term for teenagers or people of any age sending sexually explicit messages or photographs to someone via a mobile device. The physical, mental, and psychological aspects of the most common device associated with sexting is the cell phone. After this speech, you will know what sexting is and how it can impact the sexter as well as his or her future, both mentally and socially, and the consequences of sexting. Sexting is a term created by the media that generally refers to sending, receiving, or forwarding sexually suggestive nude or nearly nude photos or sexually suggestive messages through text or email. Sexting does impact the future both mentally and socially of individuals who participate in these type of activities. Words do hurt. Ridicule, disdain, humiliation, taunting all cause injury. And when it is delivered in childhood from peers, verbal abuse causes more than emotional trauma. It inflicts lasting physical effects on brain structure. When the environment is hostile or socially unhealthy, development of the brain is affected, and often it is impaired. Early childhood sexual abuse and physical abuse have been shown to cause abnormal physical damages in the brain of children with lasting effects that predispose the child to developing psychological disorders. Sexting also carries consequences. Some of the consequences related to sexting include the ruining of one's reputation, felony criminal charges, sex offender registration, and suicide. Felony criminal charges apply because of the child pornography laws. And this is only relevant to photos, even if the underage individual consents to sending these photos. Because one feels like his or her reputation can be ruined, they seem to take drastic measures. For example, an Ohio teen hanged herself last May after her ex-boyfriend forwarded nude photos of her, sharing them with other high school girls. 18-year-old Bryce Dixon. Bryce sent photos of his girlfriend because he thought that she was cheating with his best friend. Dixon was wrong. And Dixon was charged and received a $140,000 bond. Dixon's charges included transmission of child pornography, and he is currently serving a 5-year probation sentence, and he is a registered sex offender, a label that he'll have to carry until he's 43. That's a long label to carry for an 18-year-old. While it may seem like an innocent juvenile pastime that will fade with growth and maturity, sexting can cause a lot of harm to everyone involved. It awakens love before its proper time and opens a whole world that should never be seen. It can lead to guilt, shame, humiliation, suspension, and even expulsion from school. Addiction to pornography, sexual activities outside of marriage, harassment from peers, and sex-centered relationships instead of God-centered relationships. While the law of diminishing returns is applied to one's life, it finds that just sending and receiving sexually charged text messages doesn't give him the same thrill that it once did. Sending sex texts may seem like the right thing to do, but keep in mind that these activities do carry criminal charges before you sext. So can anyone in the audience tell me what sexting is?
Sexting is when you send or receive an explicit text.
That's correct. And do you know why we shouldn't sext? Can you give me one reason why we shouldn't sext?
Because it can be harmful to other people.
And what about the sexter itself? How can it affect the sexter?
It could cause them to do jail time or probation, or either carry the label of a sex offender for up to the age of 43.
That's correct.